You might think you're doing everything right, getting to bed on time, keeping the room quiet, even cutting out caffeine. But if you're over 65 and still waking up exhausted, wide-eyed at 3 a.m., or feeling like you never truly rest, it's time to face a hard truth. Some of your bedtime habits may be doing more harm than good. And the most dangerous part? These habits don't feel bad. In fact, some of them might seem comforting, even necessary. But as your body ages, your brain, muscles, and nervous system become more sensitive to the smallest disruptions. That cup of tea, that late-night snack, that warm bedroom, they might have been harmless in your 40s, but now? They could be slowly stealing your sleep, night after night, year after year. So ask yourself, do you still feel tired even after sleeping 8 hours? Do you wake up with a dry mouth, foggy brain, or heavy limbs? Do you lie in bed feeling wired, even when you're worn out? If yes, then listen closely. Because today, we're going to uncover 5 common nighttime habits that may be quietly destroying your sleep quality after 65. These insights come from sleep researchers, doctors, and real stories of seniors who struggled until they learned what needed to change. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to avoid, what to fix, and what simple steps can help you wake up feeling strong, steady, and clear-headed again. But before we get into the first harmful habit, take a moment. If you care about senior health, elderly reflections, and real-life wisdom from people over 60, like this video. Subscribe to the channel. And tell me in the comments, where are you watching from today? I'd love to hear your story. Now let's talk about the first habit that's quietly ruining your sleep, and it starts with what you're doing just an hour before bed. It's a habit that feels innocent, even relaxing. But it's one of the biggest reasons your brain can't shut down at night. Watching screens right before sleep. Phones, tablets, TVs, even bright LED lights in your living room. They all emit blue light, a frequency that tells your brain it's still daytime. This tricks your body into holding off on melatonin, the hormone that helps you feel sleepy and stay asleep. You might be lying in bed, eyes closed, but your brain? It's stuck in daytime mode. Let me tell you about Walter, 70, from Michigan. Every night after dinner, he'd settle into his recliner and watch 2 or 3 hours of television, usually the news or an action movie. He thought of it as his way to wind down. But then came the sleepless nights. The tossing and turning. The mornings where he felt like he hadn't slept at all. After speaking with his doctor and reading about circadian rhythms, Walter made a change. He turned off all screens an hour before bed, dimmed the lights, and started reading instead, an actual book, not a phone or tablet. Within a week, he noticed something strange. He fell asleep faster. And for the first time in years, stayed asleep until morning. The science backs it up. A study in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that adults over 60 who use screens in the evening experienced delayed sleep onset and significantly lower sleep quality. It's not about what you're watching, it's about what your brain thinks that screen means. The second sleep-destroying habit? Eating too close to bedtime. For many older adults, late dinners or nighttime snacks have become routine. A cookie before bed, a sandwich at 9 p.m., maybe a glass of warm milk. But here's what's really happening. As you age, your digestion slows. Your body can't break down food as efficiently, especially at night. So while you're trying to sleep, your stomach is working overtime. This disrupts deep sleep. It raises your core temperature. It can even trigger acid reflux, which many seniors mistake for heart palpitations or anxiety in the middle of the night. Think about Linda, 73, from Arizona. She always had a snack before bed, a tradition from her childhood. But as she aged, that same snack started causing stomach aches and restless nights. She didn't connect the two until she started keeping a sleep journal. Once she moved her final meal to 6 p.m., she saw a massive improvement. "I didn't realize my body couldn't handle late-night food anymore," she told me. "But now I wake up clear." Doctors recommend finishing your last meal at least 3 hours before sleep, especially if you struggle with indigestion, blood sugar swings, or nighttime waking. And if you must eat something, make it small, protein-based, and easy to digest, like a slice of banana with peanut butter, or a boiled egg. Let's move on to the third harmful habit, and this one surprises almost everyone. Keeping your bedroom too warm. Now, I get it. As we age, we tend to feel colder. A warm bed, cozy blankets, space heaters, they all sound comforting. But sleep science says otherwise. In order to fall into deep, restorative sleep, your core body temperature needs to drop. A hot bedroom blocks this process. Instead of reaching deep sleep, your body stays on alert, tossing and turning in a lighter, more fragile sleep stage. Research shows that the ideal sleep temperature for older adults is between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 to 19 degrees Celsius. That might sound chilly, but give it a try. Wear socks if your feet get cold, but keep the room cool and well ventilated. Josephine, 76, from Boston, swore she couldn't sleep without her heating pad. But when she started waking up sweaty and irritable, her doctor suggested lowering the room temperature instead. She switched to cotton sheets, cracked her window open a little, and within a week, she said her mind felt calm for the first time in months. So don't underestimate the power of a cool room. Your body will thank you. That's 3 of the 5 damaging habits already: screen time, late night eating, and a warm room. Each one might seem harmless. But together, they can quietly sabotage the one thing your body needs most after 65. Deep, healing, peaceful rest. Now that you understand how evening screens, late night meals, and a warm bedroom can quietly wreck your sleep after 65, let's dive into the next 2 habits that may seem small, even helpful, but are actually making your nights worse, and your mornings heavier than they should be. The 4th habit? It's one of the most overlooked and most common. Drinking too many fluids before bed. Now, let's be clear, hydration is essential, especially for seniors. It keeps your joints moving, your digestion regular, and your brain functioning clearly. But when you drink matters just as much as how much you drink. Because if you're loading up on water, tea, or juice in the evening, especially in the 2 hours before bed, you're almost guaranteed to interrupt your sleep. This habit leads to a condition called nocturia, the need to wake up and urinate multiple times during the night. It's not just annoying. It breaks your sleep cycles. Each time you get up, especially if the lights go on or you move too quickly, your brain snaps out of deep rest, and it may take up to an hour to return to the same level of sleep depth. Some seniors never get back to sleep at all. Waking up once in the night isn't always a problem. But if it's happening 2, 3, 4 times a night, you're not getting the rest your body needs to repair, regulate hormones, or keep your memory sharp. Let me tell you about Samuel, 78, from Georgia. He thought he was doing the right thing by drinking 2 big glasses of water before bed. He wanted to flush out toxins. But his sleep was broken every night. He'd wake up to use the bathroom at midnight, 2 a.m., 4 a.m., and by 6, he was exhausted. When his doctor suggested cutting fluids after 7 p.m., everything changed. Samuel still drank plenty of water, but earlier in the day. He started sipping more between breakfast and lunch, then tapered off by evening. And the results? I started sleeping through the night like I was 40 again, he said. The same goes for herbal teas, even the calming ones. While chamomile or lavender tea can be helpful, make sure they're in small amounts, and not right before bed. And if you're thinking, but I get thirsty at night, ask yourself, are you actually thirsty, or is it just habit? Because most people overhydrate in the evening without even realizing it. Now let's talk about the 5th and final habit, one that quietly damages not just your sleep, but your sense of peace and safety. Rumination. That's right, thinking too much before bed. It doesn't sound like a habit, but it is. Every night, millions of older adults lie down and immediately start replaying conversations, worrying about their health, their family, their finances, or simply feeling the weight of time passing. This mental overactivity keeps the brain in a state of alertness. Your heart rate stays slightly elevated. Your nervous system doesn't shift into rest and digest mode. And you end up lying in bed with your eyes closed, but your mind wide open. This is especially common after 65, when silence becomes louder and the absence of distractions reveals emotions you may have avoided during the day: grief, regret, fear. These thoughts create an invisible barrier between you and restful sleep. Meet Angela, 75, from New York. She was healthy, active, and spent most of her day moving around. But as soon as she lay down, her thoughts would spiral: memories of her late husband, worry about her adult children, anxiety about the future. She didn't want to take sleep medication, but she felt helpless. What helped her? A pen and paper. She began a practice of evening brain dumping, writing down everything on her mind, even if it felt messy or unimportant. 5 minutes every night before bed. She also started a habit of saying out loud, "That's enough thinking for today." It felt silly at first, but over time, her body learned that bedtime meant release. There's real science behind this. Writing down your thoughts helps the brain let go of unfinished business. It reduces activity in the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for planning and problem solving. In one study, adults who journaled for just 5 minutes before bed fell asleep significantly faster and experienced fewer night wakings. If you don't want to write, you can try guided breathing or even listening to soft, spoken meditations, anything that helps shift your focus away from thought and into the present moment. Because a racing mind is one of the most powerful enemies of deep sleep. Now, let's take a step back. These 5 nighttime habits, screen time, late eating, warm bedrooms, excess fluids, and mental overload, might feel small on their own. But stacked together? They quietly erode your sleep from every direction. And poor sleep, especially after 65, isn't just about feeling tired. It leads to memory loss, slower healing, higher fall risk, and emotional decline. But here's the good news. All 5 of these habits are changeable. You don't need a prescription. You don't need fancy supplements. You just need awareness and the willingness to shift how you treat your evenings. Ditch the phone an hour before bed. Eat earlier. Lighter. Simpler. Cool the bedroom. Let your body drop into rest. Cut off fluids by early evening. Empty your mind, not just your bladder. Simple changes. Deep results. And remember, your sleep isn't broken. It's just being blocked. Once you remove the barriers, your body will remember how to rest. It wants to heal. It's built to. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 habits surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if this helped you reflect or shift something in your routine, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more guidance on senior sleep, emotional peace, and the quiet power of daily habits after 60. Also, tell me, where are you watching from? You'd be surprised how many people are going through the exact same thing, all around the world. Here's to peaceful nights, sharper mornings, and a life of calm energy, one night at a time. Let's take everything we've uncovered so far and go one step deeper, because by now, you know the 5 habits that might be quietly destroying your sleep after 65. But knowing them is one thing. Living differently? That's the challenge. And the truth is, real change doesn't come from rules, it comes from understanding. Understanding why these habits developed. Why they're so hard to let go of. And what you can do, tonight, to shift your sleep, not with force, but with compassion, rhythm, and the right support. Let's begin with a reality few talk about. Your sleep needs aren't less just because you're older. You've probably heard that myth, that seniors need less sleep. But that's false. What changes with age isn't the need for sleep, it's the ability to get it. The National Institute on Aging confirms this. Older adults still need 7 to 9 hours of good sleep each night to stay mentally sharp, emotionally stable, and physically resilient. The problem is that age-related changes in hormones, brain function, and daily routines make it harder to fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling restored. That's why these 5 habits we've discussed matter so much. They stack on top of those natural changes and amplify the disruptions. And unless we change the environment around us, we're asking the body to do something it's no longer equipped to fight through. Let me tell you about Robert and Elise, a couple in their late 70s, living in Oregon. For years, they believed poor sleep was just a normal part of aging. Robert woke up at 2 a.m. every night. Elise would toss until 3. They tried sleeping pills, supplements, more naps during the day. Nothing worked long term. Then, they started doing something different. Not just trying to sleep better, but creating a life that supported rest. They changed their dinner time. They put away their phones after 7 p.m. They made their bedroom cooler and added white noise. Elise began journaling. Robert started stretching for 10 minutes before bed. These weren't big, dramatic changes. But within 3 weeks, everything shifted. Robert was sleeping 5 hours straight, then falling back asleep. Elise stopped waking up in panic. It wasn't just about sleep, she told me. It was about making peace with the night. Because after 65, sleep isn't just about closing your eyes. It's about resetting your nervous system. It's about letting go. And that takes trust, something we often lose with age. So how do you build that trust again? How do you train your body to know it's safe to rest? Start with consistency. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. This might sound simple, but for seniors, it's one of the most effective ways to re-anchor the circadian rhythm. Your brain loves patterns. And the more consistent your sleep-wake schedule is, the easier it becomes for your body to drop into deeper rest. Next, pay attention to your movement. Not just exercise, but daily physical rhythm. Are you getting sunlight during the day? Are you standing up and walking every couple of hours? Are you using your muscles in small, natural ways? A sedentary lifestyle slowly kills your sleep. Why? Because your body needs a reason to rest. If you haven't moved much all day, there's no physical drive to repair and restore. That's why so many older adults feel restless at night. It's not just mental. It's the body saying, I didn't do enough to need rest. Take walks. Stretch. Do simple chores. Garden. Dance. Your sleep begins with how you live. Another crucial element, your sleep environment. We've touched on temperature, but there's more to it. How dark is your bedroom? Do you have blinking lights from electronics? Street lights peeking through the curtains? These small light sources confuse your brain, telling it to stay alert. Invest in blackout curtains. Remove unnecessary electronics. Use a red night light if you need to get up. Even better, spend a few minutes outside each morning. That natural light not only helps you wake up, it resets your internal clock, making it easier to sleep when night comes. And now, something that's rarely talked about, but might be the most important. How you emotionally approach bedtime. For many seniors, nighttime brings fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of health issues. Fear of the dark, even. It's unspoken, but it's real. And it causes a subtle tension in the body that makes deep sleep nearly impossible. If you go to bed bracing yourself for another bad night, your body remembers that. It stays on guard. And that readiness turns into insomnia. But what if bedtime became something else? A ritual. A gift. A return to yourself. Start small. Say something kind to yourself before you lie down. I've done enough today. It's okay to rest. My body knows what to do. This might sound strange, but these simple affirmations shift the nervous system out of fight or flight and into a state of calm readiness. You can also use scent. Lavender, chamomile, sandalwood, these natural oils activate relaxation responses in the brain. One drop on your pillow. A soft diffuser. It's a signal to your senses, we're done for today. You don't need a perfect night. You need a safe one. Now, maybe you're thinking, I've tried everything. But I want you to hear this. Even if you've struggled with sleep for years, your body is not broken. It still holds the blueprint for rest. And the moment you remove the blocks, those 5 habits we've talked about, that blueprint comes back to life. Sleep is not something you chase. It's something you allow. So tonight, when you turn off the lights, ask yourself, am I setting myself up for sleep, or just hoping for it? What habit am I willing to change, just one, for the next 7 nights? What belief about aging and sleep am I ready to let go of? Because the truth is, most people over 65 don't suffer from insomnia. They suffer from a life that no longer supports rest. And with a few simple shifts, that life can change. If this video helped you see your sleep in a new way, drop a comment below. What habit are you going to change first? What's been the hardest part of sleep for you? I read every reply. And if you found this valuable, please like the video and subscribe for more real-life strategies, senior wisdom, and inspiration that helps you stay strong, clear, and peaceful after 60. Before we go, tell me, where are you watching from today? Here's to deeper sleep, lighter mornings, and nights that feel like home again. You've earned it.